If you do good by somebody and they do not return said kind gesture, don't worry about it. Don't fret. God will still take care of you. Make sure whatever you're doing for someone, you're doing it from the heart, and don't always expect your don't expect the reciprocity. I think that's the word. I might don't expect it to come from that person. It may not happen. That may not be God's plan. Now David was requesting provision and resources from this very wealthy guy named Nabal, whom him and his men had did right by. Okay, just sum it up. He said, "And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them all the while they were in Carmel. Ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes, for we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thy hand unto thy servants and to thy son David." And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, "Who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shears, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?" So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those things. Now David angry at him, and he had every right to be, because how dare you try to act like you don't know me, really? And David said unto his men, "Gird ye on every man his sword." And they girded on every man his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife. Now, who was Nabal's wife, Abigail? Over here, it said, now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding. Keep that in mind. Okay, so, but one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, "Behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the fields. They were a wall unto us, both by night and day. All the while we were with them, keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial," meaning he's so evil, son of the devil, whatever, "that a man cannot speak to him." Abigail's peace offering. Well, let's see what this woman of good understanding did. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. And she said unto her servants, "Go on before me. Behold, I come after you." But she told not her husband Nabal. So though the provision wasn't given to David and his men by the wicked, ungrateful husband, the beautiful, understanding wife, Abigail, she made haste, and she did what was needed to be done to save her and her household from being slaughtered by David, because she knew he was definitely not one to be played with back then. She heard of all of his, conquests of slaughtering people and conquering, she knew who David was, okay? He had a reputation. So I said all that to say, God will do for you. There's nothing nobody can stop. They may think they're stopping something. Nabal thought he was stopping something. And when his wife finally told him, I think the next day, about what he did, what she had did for him, he was mad. But it doesn't matter. They'll get mad. God is still going to provide for you everything you need. It may not come from who you think, but God will still provide the provision and the resources. Do good and trust in the Lord at all times. Be blessed and stay encouraged.